Good day and welcome. I'm Mr. Simons. In this grade 11 analytical geometry, again I'm looking at the grade 12 question on a parallelogram. Right. So, November 2015, diagram below, the line joining Q minus 2 and 3 and PAB, A and B greater than 0, makes an angle of 45 degrees. So the angle of inclination there, 45. QP, so from Q to P is 7 square root 2 units. N is 7 and 1 is the midpoint of PR, so it cuts PR into two equal halves, and M is the midpoint of QR. So midpoint, so we're looking at midpoint theorem, meaning if those two are equal and these two are equal, then this line must be parallel to that line. So determine 1, the gradient of PQ. So if I can't gradient PQ, I'm going to use 45 to get that. Gradient or angle of inclination. 1, the equation MN. So MN has the same gradient as PQ. Then I'm going to use 7 and 1 to find the value of C. Then they want the length of MN. So if I have midpoint theorem there, then MN is half the size of PQ. Right, the QP's thing. We want the length of RS. So RS there, technically, if this is a parallelogram, RS must be the same length as PQ. Right? Coordinates of S such that PQRS is a parallelogram. So there we're looking at Q and S, and PR must share the same midpoint. Right? So using midpoint formula, I'm going to find the coordinates of S. Then we want the coordinates of P. So I have gradient of PQ and the length of PQ. I'm going to use those two together to find the coordinates of A and B. Right, so as I said, pause and attempt to answer it. If you get stuck, just go through the explanation. Question 1, they want the gradient of PQ. Give me angle that starts from the x-axis and touch the line. So angle of inclination, gradient PQ equal tan 45. Tan 45 equal 1. So the gradient of PQ equal 1. 1 mark for tan 45. 1 for answer. Alright. Problem number 2. On the equation Mn in the form y equal mx plus c. So number 1, I can say Mn is parallel to QP, my reason being midpoint theorem. Remember, as I explained, Mn cuts or N cuts PR into two equal halves, and M cuts QR into two equal halves. Therefore, automatically then Mn is parallel to PQ. So gradient of Mn, right, equal to gradient QP, which equal 1. So that becomes y equal 1x plus c. I only have the coordinates 7 and 1 on Mn. So this states that y is 1 when x is 7. 1 times 7 gives me 7. 1 minus 7 would give me minus 6. So my coordinates of c is minus 6. Therefore y equal x minus 6. 1 mark for Mn. 1 mark for substitution. 1 mark for answer. Right, let's look at the next one. Now they want the length of Mn. So as I said, those two lines are parallel due to midpoint theorem. Mn equal half the length of PQ. So Mn equal half PQ. My reason, midpoint theorem, 1 mark. PQ is 7 square root 2. Half of that means I simply divide by 2. For the length of RS, RS must be the same length as PQ for them to be a parallelogram. Although they only asked it in 5, we'll assume that in 4 it's only way for 1 mark. So RS equals 7 square root 2. Alright, number 5, the coordinates of S such that PQRS in that order is a parallelogram. So PQRS is a parallelogram. So number 1, QN equal NS. Same as PN equal NR. Right, so N is the midpoint. So Q minus 2 and minus 3. N 7 and 1. and S, X and Y. So again, if I'm using the middle, x1 plus x2 over 2 equals 7. y1 plus y2 over 2 equal 1. Right? So x minus 2 over 2 equals 7. Y minus 3 over 2 equal 1. 2 times 7 gives me 14. Leaves behind x minus 2. Take negative 2 over 14 plus 2 gives me 16. There, y minus 3, 2 times 1 equal 2. Take negative 3 over 2 plus 3 gives me 5. So coordinates of S, 16 and 5. So 1 mark for substituting midpoint, 2 marks for my answer. I hope you follow and understand. Right, question 6, we want the coordinates of P. Now for P we have two items, gradient of PQ which is 1. We know the distance of PQ which is 7 square root 2. Right, P has two unknowns, so we'll have to solve simultaneously, right? There's no midpoint, so I can't use the midpoint formula to find the coordinates. So gradient PQ equal 1. So therefore, equation of PQ would read y equal x plus c. We only have the coordinates of Q and PQ, which is minus 2 and minus 3. So this states that y is minus 3 when x is negative 2. Take negative 2 over minus 3 plus the 2 gives me minus 1. So my equation for PQ, the line, y equal x minus 1. Substitute the coordinates of P in, which is A and P. This states that my y there is P when my x is A. Make A the subject of the formula. If I take 1 across, A equal P plus 1. So that's my equation 1. A equal P plus 1. Right, because I have the length of PQ, I'm going to use the distance formula, right? It states PQ equals square root x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Right, if I square both sides, I can get rid of the square root, so PQ squared equal, then in the place of x2, a minus minus 2, b minus minus 3 squared. Right, but my coordinates of a must now p plus 1. So in a's place, p plus 1, negative times negative gives me plus 2. Negative plus negative gives me p plus 3 squared, and PQ is must 7 square root 2 squared. Alright, so this now becomes p plus 3 squared plus p plus 3 squared. P times p gives me p squared. P times 3 gives me 3b times 2 gives me 6b. 3 times 3 would give me 9. That side again, p times p, p squared, p times 3, 3b times 2 gives me 6b. 3 times 3 gives me 9. 7 times 7, 49. Square root 2 times square root 2, 2. So p squared plus 6b plus 9 plus p squared plus 6b plus 9. P squared plus p squared, 2b squared. 6b plus 6b, 12b. 9 plus 9, 18. 49 times 2 gives me 98. If I take it over, negative 98, right? Divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2, 1. 12 divided by 2, 6. 18 minus 98 gives me negative 80 divided by 2, which gives me negative 40. Now we have 0, so we can factorize. P squared is simply p times p. Factors of negative 40, positive 10 times negative 4 gives me negative 40. That gives me 10b minus 4b, which gives me 6b. P cannot equal negative 10 because p is on the positive side. So therefore P equal 4. If I substitute back 4 plus 1, A equal 5. Therefore P is 5 and 4. Right? And use the negative 10 because my y value is positive, not negative. Right? So hope you follow. Wish you nothing but the best. Please like, share and subscribe. God bless. Bye.